What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this? Is this Thursday? It feels like Saturday, but it's Thursday. Could be Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. How are you guys doing? Did you guys hear the striper at the beginning? I need to know if my audio is working. I need to know if the levels on the left and the right are equal. You don't have to tell me that, but I just need to know if you heard the striper. If I did anything right during this stream, it was to give you the striper, okay? Because Carly, what's up? It has been a long while. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And for some reason, my OBS isn't showing the chat on the side, but luckily I got the chat on the screen there, so I think I can read that. Gory Tiger, Destiny, Nathaniel, Polly, Mike Johnston, Carly, Scott Lauderdale, what's up, brother? Thank you for those vinyls, brother. Rosemary, Thomas Jones, Lloyd Neal. Lloyd, what's up, brother? Brandon the Belden, Million, how are you doing? Maverick, nice to see you, Maverick. Rosalia. I'm seeing a couple of the new faces that popped in on the last time. It's really cool. Aaron Click, Fachi, what's up, brother? How you doing? Do you guys have Halloween fatigue? Because we're going to talk about... Don't worry. I'm aware that there is this thing called Halloween fatigue, okay? I love you guys so much. I swear to God. But you know what? It's like the aftermath of Halloween is almost just as interesting as the lead up to the new movies, because then you get the reviews, you know, not just the normal reviews, but like reviews from like you guys, like Twitter and, you know, Facebook, and you get the anger mob. I got a joke for you guys, okay? I just made up this joke today, okay? I just made up this joke. All right, here we go. Which group of people watch Halloween-related content on YouTube the most? All right, let me rephrase that. Which group of people watch Halloween-related content on YouTube the most? I want to see what you guys say. I hate that I can't see my chat on the side over here. And I can't see. I need glasses if I'm being honest. Let me see. Let me pull out the pop out chat. Let me see if that'll work. Okay. Let me pull out the pop out chat. We can do that. All right. Pop out chat. There we go. I can see. Oh my God, I can see you guys so much better now. That's nice. That's beef noodle hearty is what that is. Beef noodle hearty. Yes, that's nice. Okay, I can see some of the answers here. Some fans act like Michael isn't the villain and don't want to see him get what he's got coming. Shake my head. Okay, all right. Tabata, what's up? Hey, Tabata, I got one of your memes. Matter of fact, we're going to start with the funnies tonight. I'm going to try an experiment, okay? Because sometimes I don't even get to the funnies, so we're going to get to funnies. But let me rephrase that question. Which group of people watch Halloween-related content on YouTube the most? And the answer is people that bitch about Halloween-related content in the comments. I figured that out. Those are the ones that watch it the most. It's not a funny joke at all. But it's true. Sometimes the truth isn't funny, though, right? Sometimes the truth isn't funny. But even today, I get some... oh, my God. We're going to... I'm already diving in. God damn it. You know what? It's you fuckers that get me so riled up, okay? It's the public that get me so riled up. You get me saying shit that I'm like, damn, should I have said that? Should I have said that? Should I have said mind your own fucking business? Should I have said it's my channel and I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want? Should I have said that? Probably not. But you know what? I don't know. Perks of having your own channel, I guess. But I have missed you guys so much. I've missed you guys so much. You know? It feels like it's been a while since the last time we chatted. Did you guys all have a good Halloween? That's why. Did you guys have a good Halloween? Did you go out and go trick-or-treating? Tell me what you guys did in the chat. Did you get dressed up? Tell me what you got dressed up as. I want to know. I miss you guys so much. And what do you got to drink? Do you guys want to, more importantly, do you guys want to start with the funnies? All right, because I think I want to start with the funnies tonight. Okay? did I say tonight? Today. One thing I do like about streaming on a Thursday is, or not on a Thursday, but in the afternoon, is my international folk. You guys get the chance to tune in, because I do get some of you guys messaging me saying, hey man, I love to watch your live streams, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning by the time you go live. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to go in the middle of the day, so that way some of my my viewers from abroad can watch, and some of my stateside viewers can watch, and we can just have one big happy party, right? Let's do the funnies first. Maverick, you got it, man. You got it. Brandon says he took his 3-year-old trick-or-treating, and I dressed up as Halloween Fort Myers. I saw the picture, Brandon. I was actually going to get dressed up as Curse of Michael Myers. I was going to get dressed up like that. But we literally had maybe like 5 people show up at our door. And I was like, I'm not even going to do it this year. I'll just hand out candy and I'll watch a horror movie. And so I ended up just watching a horror movie. It was nice. Holly says her daughter dressed up as Sam from Trick or Treat, and my son was George from It. Nice. Carly says she was an Alice Cooper groupie and went to see the Misfits and Alice Cooper for my birthday and bought a shit ton of merch. Now, Carly had a better time than all of us. Now, are you guys glad that the spooky season is over? Or do you still kind of celebrate, I guess, throughout the holidays? Because I'm still in the mood. I'm still in the spooky mood. I still like, and maybe it's because I didn't watch a horror movie every single night in October. I planned on it, but I didn't do it. I ended up watching maybe 10 movies over the month. And I guess no regrets. Because I'm still kind of wanting to watch some horror content. So that's cool. See, Rosalia says she was a final girl. Nice. Erica, that's all I did too. Didn't get many trick-or-treaters, but I got to watch Halloween 78 and Terrifier 2. I did watch both those movies, actually, over the month. I tell you, first off, Terrifier 2, by the way, that movie is sweeping the freaking nation right now. Like, I constantly see love for Terrifier 2. And you know what? It's a great thing, because not too often do you have a movie that comes along that causes people to vomit in the theater, that causes people to run out of the theater. That's just great press. And guys, tell me some other movies that have done that. I can only think of a couple, like maybe The Exorcist. Wayne, I didn't find, I can understand why some people, because the movie's 2.5 hours, they'd say it was, and I was fully expecting the movie to be boring when I was watching it. I really was, because I was like, ooh, 2.5 hours. This could be rough. It's a slasher movie. Wasn't bored one bit, because they had the breadcrumbs aligned perfectly along the way, story-wise. And I was just locked in the whole way, So, yeah. What's up, Vinny? How are you doing, man? Nice to see you guys. House of a Thousand Corpses. I could see that. When I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 in the theater, and there was literally me and my wife and my niece, I was so glad that my wife fell asleep. Because I was just like, God, this is an awkward movie to watch with anybody, unless you're you're just a big Rob Zombie fan or a hardcore horror fan. But even my niece, who at the time she was in her 20s, and I didn't even look at her, I didn't want to, because I'm sure her face was probably like, oh my God, so yeah. But it's nice kind of reflecting back on the month of October and how fun it was. Fachi says Terrifier 2 is good, but I think it's a little overrated. But just in my opinion, that's coming from a super slasher lover. Well, I kind of went into it, I guess, kind of medium. I was excited for more art. I think they released it at the right time, because it been 4 years since the first Terrifier, and I was like, okay, I'm ready for some art now. And I think Terrifier 2 is a movie that you got to be in the mood for. You might catch yourself in, you're just not in the mood for that type of movie, and it might hit you the wrong way. Whereas when I watched it, I was like, I had a bowl of spaghetti. ready to go, and I was going to rub it all over my face when I was watching it because I just wanted to get dirty and messy when I watched that movie. And I think I went in with the right mindset. You know what I mean? Spaghetti. What's a good horror movie to eat spaghetti to, guys? I keep you guys on your toes. All right. Let's do the funnies. All right. I want to do the funnies. Oh, let me go over here. Okay. Should I get some music on? Yeah, we'll get some music on. Really low. We'll do this. Okay, we'll turn that down to so tell me right now, guys, before I get going, is the music still a little bit too loud, or are you guys good with that? Are you guys good with that? I'm excited to be doing the funnies first. I hate that the chat's not working over here on the right. That's driving me crazy. I might as well delete it, yeah. I'm not going to do that. What the fuck did I just do? I'm going crazy. I'm just going to close that out. There we go. Let me open up my pop-up chat. There we go. Yeah, and I can move that. I'll move that over here. There we go. That's not going to work. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Me walking out of my boyfriend's room to say hi to his mother after watching a movie. Have you guys ever been in that situation? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but you can. I've walked out of my bedroom with my hair going this way and my hair going this way before when I had my girlfriend over. And I can tell you the movie we were watching too. All right, you ready for this? We were watching Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. And this was probably late 80s. Yeah, late 80s. Maybe like 1990. It could have been 1990. I could have been touching on 1990, but I know that it was Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Okay? Which is I guess it's a great makeout movie if I'm getting right down to it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. All right? That's a fun one, though. Yep, been there. Bedhead. There you go. That means a couple of different things. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay. All right. Next one. This one's called Vinyl Love. Now, guys, be sure, because anything I do outside of horror, especially if it's music related, the algorithm hates it. Okay? It spits on it. It's like it calls it booger content or something. So I do have some booger content out there. It's my complete vinyl collection. Okay, that's 30 minutes each video. 2 videos. One you get the scores and the soundtracks. The other one you get my general rock music like Striper, stuff like that. Metallica. You'll see that. So 2 videos, guys. Go check out my booger content. All right, there you go. I don't know why I called it booger content. Okay, next one. This is a shout out to Utah David on Instagram. He lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. And he sent me this picture. He literally walked over. Guys, tell me what that house is. All right. Yeah, that is the house from Halloween 5. It looks very different today, okay? But one thing it doesn't look like is the Myers house. And that's why I love it. That's why I love Halloween 5. Because it's so freaking bonkers, weird, crazy. And you guys are bitching about ends? Oh my God. We'll get there. Okay. All right. The Crow, Days of Sodom. You're looking at an associate producer right now, guys. Okay? So pull your pants up. All right? I'm an associate producer on a new Crow fan film. Comes out 2024. Cody Falk today just posted, I guess it's like a screen test preparation, just a little video. So the gears are already turning, guys. The gears are already turning. All right. Yeah. All right. Next one. This is called Still Halloween. Still Halloween. Okay. We were just talking about this, guys. Are you guys there? Because who are you? Are you the guy on the left, Dr. Loomis, with the Dr. Loomis trench coat? Are you Agent Smith, Christmas? Or are you the Joker, still in Halloween vibes? I mean, I guess I'm kind of a little of all three, all right? Because I was in the store the other day, and I saw the Christmas stuff out, and I did get a little excited, okay? I did get a little excited. So, but I still got the spooky vibes too, all right? I still got the spooky vibes. It's cool. All right. Let's go to the next one. This one's called Still Awkward. Do you like that I give you guys a title, and I tell you the title? This is what Johnny Carson used to do. This one's called Still Awkward. Still Awkward. Okay. That was my horrible Johnny Carson impersonation. All right. 37 years later, and still one of the most awkward movie scenes ever. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. I don't want to miss a thing. Just like Aerosmith. All right. Yeah. Barrett says, I'm Halloween. George Hellman says, I'm Joker, always. Brandon says, me in the Halloween vibes. Evil Alex says, I'm totally Joker. Destiny says, I love the holidays. I do love the Are you guys excited for Christmas horror? Because I sure am. Okay? I sure am. I personally detest Christmas, especially when it's not in December. Well, thankfully, that's never happened. Oh, my God. I don't want to close my eyes. Am I getting lighters? Don't want to fall asleep because I'd miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. Yeah. Where would you hear that? Only in an Aerosmith song. Yeah. Did I just blow your freaking speakers out? I think I might have been too close. Okay. Thanksgiving does deserve better horror movies. There's just not that many of them. I think there's maybe like 2. Yeah. So, yeah. Nobody's commenting on this photo. Do you guys feel awkward? That's why I'm leaving it up there. I guess I don't feel awkward, but it is kind of a weird... Like, I guess if you were really in that situation, it would kind of feel awkward because everybody's got their legs open like that. I don't know. Janie's got a gun. There you go. See, I'm a drummer. Okay. All right. Next one. This one's called Scream 6 New York. Sometimes it'll be right on the nose. Sometimes it'll be like, what's Lee talking about? Andy Geek on Instagram posted this. I don't think that's an official poster, but one thing you'll notice is that there's no Nev Campbell above the title. So I think that's a cool poster. Like, I would welcome that poster. Would Ghostface, are they spoiling it by giving you that the Ghostface is the taxi driver? Because that's kind of what that means. Or maybe Ghostface kills a taxi driver. And why are taxis still around? He should be in an Uber. All right? I'm thinking out loud here, folks. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's called Poltergeist Bass Drop. Poltergeist Bass Drop. Are you enjoying the funnies? I'm liking this. All right, here we go. Hold on. When you're busy saving Carol Ann and then the bass drops. Carol Ann, go into the light. I can't get that high. Go into the light. But that's too high, right? See, I don't have that medium register that I need right now. Carol Ann, go into the light. Yeah. Okay. Did you guys feel the bass drop? I need to know. All right. Oh, this is delicious. Yeah, Holly, I like that poster too. That's a good poster, I think. I'd be fine with that. All right. Next one. This one's called... Oh, yeah. This is a thank you, beginning to ends documentary, guys, that I freaking slaved and worked my ass off on. It's actually 14. Monster does that to me. It's actually 14,000 views right now and climbing. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out the Halloween Beginnings to End documentary covering all 13 movies. It's an hour long, and I passed a kidney making that thing. All right, it was pretty freaking intense. That's the hardest I've ever worked on any video by a long shot. And I've done 2 top 50s, guys. Okay, and the top 50s ain't got nothing on the work that I put into this shit. Okay, there you go. All right, next one. Since we're talking about Halloween, big shout out to Kian Slade. Let me pull you guys up here. Yeah. Let me take a drink. Hold on. I can't believe that this idea never dawned on me. Or a lot of people, apparently, because a lot of people's minds were blown by this. And I don't know if Kian came up with this himself, but if you take the titles of the Thorn trilogy, they fit perfectly with the new DGG trilogy. Okay? Because you got Return of Michael Myers, which is what Halloween 2018 is. You got The Revenge of Michael Myers, which is definitely what Kills is. Even more so than the actual movie Revenge of Michael Myers. And then you got The Curse of Michael Myers, which fits perfectly with what Ends is. And I think if you think of Ends in that way with that title, maybe you'll even appreciate the movie even more. A little more. I don't know. And I'm going to say this throughout this stream right now, guys. Probably a few times. There's a good chance, and I can't predict the future, but there's a good chance you're going to come around to Ends if you don't like it. I really think that, and I've made some predictions that weren't that great, but just comparing it to, not just Halloween 3, but I guess other movies in the franchise, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which everybody was throwing pitchforks at that movie when it came out. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten DMs or comments from people, because I've reviewed Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 a couple times, stating that, yes, I eventually came around to this movie, and I even am obsessed with this movie now, and I hated it at first. So I guarantee you that's what's going to happen with Ends. But right now, if there's a spectrum of love and hate, right now, the spectrum of, I guess, the hate is it's hot, white hot fire right now for some people, and I see it on people are, and that's why I called this stream "Why Are You Angry at This Franchise?" It's really "Why Are You Angry at Ends?" But we're gonna get. I don't want to dive into that topic just yet, but I'm just giving you a taste of it right now. This ain't new, and Maybe some of you are looking at the movie to get you that angry about the movie, because I was angry at the movie the first time I watched it. At what happened at the end of the movie, I was angry. I walked out of the theater. I was pretty angry. Okay, but after I kept watching it and separated it from the rest of the franchise and really started thinking about the whole franchise and each movie and how all of them are kind of different, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I can kind of let that go now. I actually love this. So we'll get there, though. Okay, we'll get there. But I just thought it was cool that you could apply those titles and they would work even better with this new trilogy. All right. Okay. Next one. That guy right there, freaking Mick Mars. I always try to bring up some kind of music in these streams, but I couldn't go without mentioning Mick Mars and how underrated, and I know that word gets used. Underrated is overrated. I know that, but he truly is a very underrated guitarist, an extremely underrated guitarist as far as creating such a signature sound. If you didn't have Mick Mars was a crucial ingredient to Motley Crue. He really was. His guitar playing had such a great sound, and his hooks were so good that he could make a bad song good. He could make a bad song good. Just the way he, the amps that he used, the guitar, because I'm not a guitarist, I'm a drummer, so I don't follow what types of guitars he used, but he's one of those guitarists that, yeah, if I hear like, just the opening few bars, I'm like, that's Mick Mars. He just had, and he didn't die, he just retired. And I think it's long overdue too, because he's had that spinal disease for so long, and he just looks like he's in pain when he's playing. So, but another thing about Mick Mars too is he's the one guy in the band that was all about the music. He didn't care about, notoriety. He didn't want his name out there. He just wanted the music to do the talking. And boy, did the music do the talking. Those other three guys, and Tommy Lee, freaking amazing drummer, a crucial ingredient. Nikki Sixx, he's the writer of the songs. Vince Neil, a lot of people say they don't like Vince Neil can't sing. And maybe there's some truth to that, especially today. But if you take out Vince's voice and you put somebody else's voice in there, it ain't Motley Crue. And we've seen that with John Corabi, okay? John Corabi, great singer. Very Steven Tyler-like. Does not fit with Motley Crue at all. You have to have Vince Neil. You got to have all four of those members, okay? But you take out Mick Mars, it ain't Motley Crue. Yeah. But, yeah, one for Mick Mars, guys. Raise your glass, okay? Raise your glass to Mick Mars, all right? I heard John 5 is stepping in for him. But, yeah. All right, next one. Poor little Levi, he tore his muscle in his right leg, and we had to keep him keep him from running and walking too much. He's doing a lot better now, but he was walking around and he was limping because what happened, it's my fault. I was playing with him, and I like to throw his little squeaky toy, and he'll chase it. Well, I ran up the stairs because sometimes I'll do that and he'll chase me. And when I came back down, he decided to literally leap from the top of the stairs, just into the air. And he landed in the middle of the stairs, and his little body slid down, and I felt horrible. I love you, little guy. All right. But he's doing much better now. We had to get him some antibiotics and some medication and everything, but he's doing a lot better now. Okay, I'm really happy for him. But I'm making him take it easy. Okay, I'm making him take it easy. I love my guy though. Okay. This one's Let the Right T2 In. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about physical media. All right, physical media. Specifically with Terminator 2 and another movie. All right. I don't know if any of you guys are you're into picture quality, and you really pay attention to keeping it as close to the source as possible in terms of the transfer. And I don't want to lose. I'm going to try to make this as entertaining as possible. Okay. But, there have been so many editions of Terminator 2, and the pictures just, if you're really in, most people, they're going to watch Terminator 2 on Blu-ray and they're going to be just fine, okay? I'm one of those weird guys that I need it to be film grainy. I want it to look guys, back in the 80s or 90s, you would go to the theater, and I would say most of the content that you watched in the theater was 35 millimeter, okay? Or some might have been 16 millimeter, especially those Grindhouse movies and whatnot. But for the most part, most of them were 35 millimeter. And when you watched a true 35 millimeter print, you could see the grain. And I just love that stuff. It's just cinema. It's cinema, right? These days, everything's digital now. You don't see that film grain as much, and I miss that. So when you get these transfers of these older movies, I want it to look like it looked in the theater. That's what I'm trying to get down to, okay? And Terminator 2, even the 4K, the problem that they did with this movie is they applied a lot of digital noise reduction, which is basically taking, the grain is also called noise, okay, in the film stock. And they tried to wipe that clean, almost like putting a layer over it to make it look almost like digital. And it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And edge enhancement. which is almost kind of gives it like a 3D effect a little bit. Not like really pronounced, but you know, they would just like, they would go into the frames and they would literally like, you know, outline certain things if it needed corrected or something like that. So sometimes it can be good. You know, DNR and edge enhancement, they're not a bad thing if they're used appropriately. Okay. And like I said, I'm no expert. This is just stuff that I've gathered and that I see with my own two eyes. Okay. But this particular edition of Terminator 2, if you can find it, and you can find it, it's on Amazon. It's like $8. That particular edition, because there's like, I swear there's like freaking 10 different editions of Terminator 2 on Blu-ray, okay, and 4K. Guys, if you want the truest picture quality of Terminator 2 that looks like it did in the theater, you're going to see the film grain and everything, get that edition. It's the only edition I think that has that picture on it. You know, the big T2 with Arnold in the front. $8. And if you're really into that like I am, then, you know, I have quite a few editions of Terminator 2. I got the 4K. I got a couple of editions on Blu-ray, but I even watch that over the 4K. You know, if I'm reaching for Terminator 2, I go for that edition. I don't go for the 4K. I've seen the 4K once. It's okay, but I do see a little bit of waxing, a little bit of DNR, and I don't like it, okay? And the other example, and this one's even more pronounced, is the Predator is, if you go into these like movie circles that are really into picture quality, like Blu-ray.com. If you go on Blu-ray.com, you go in there and you start, these guys that like, they get deep with picture quality debates and the best looking transfer. Predator is legendary because of the what's called the Ultimate Hunter Edition. Stay far away from that version, because they took this version and it's like they almost tried to make it look like a video game. It's the worst. It's the worst case of digital noise reduction I've ever seen. They put way too thick of a layer on it, and you can see examples if you search online where Arnold's face literally looks like a layer of wax is over it. Okay, so the edition to get for Predator, and it looks dirty and muddy and grainy in a good way, you know, just like intended in the first, like just like you saw it in the theater in the 80s. All right, get that edition right there. It's the very first Blu-ray edition of Predator. That's the one that looks the best. Because Predator is supposed to look like a dirty, ugly movie. You know, they're muddy. They're in the jungle. You know, it's not supposed to look. It's not supposed to look like a video game. All right, and you can really tell it when you see like the green blood, like the Predator's green blood. It looks way too bright. You know, so yeah, that version right there, creme de la creme. Yeah, that's the one to get. Okay, I know I've lost half of you now, but I wanted to talk a little bit about one of my loves is picture quality. So there you go. All right, this is Jaws. Oh, okay. Let me set this up. So, I went to that's the Grand Canyon. All right. When I went to Vegas, I went to the Grand Canyon. All right, and I posted that, and somebody took that picture, and they did that. And that's not right. That's not right. You know, it hurt my feelings, and it's not believable either. Like, how am I going to get up there on Jaws' head to kill those people? I don't think so. But whoever did that's horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing you did. Okay, it's hilarious though. Okay. All right. But I like to think that me and Jaws were teaming up, you know? Can you imagine like Jaws is under the water and I come out of the water first and then Jaws comes out and then he says we're going to need a bigger boat? I don't think it would have had the same impact, honestly. Okay. All right. Let's see. What is this? HOTD. Let's see what that is. Oh, yeah. House of the Dragon. All right. Rob Burnett on the part of the John Campion show. He posted this on his Instagram. Have you guys been watching House of the Dragon? I mean, you talk about keeping it in the family, man. And they were keeping it in the family with the Lannisters in Game of Thrones, but they take it a step further in House of the Dragon. Like, it gets crazy. Stay Metal Ray, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Ray, I opened this up with Stripers to Hell with the Devil. You would have been proud. Yeah, I tell you, that song, and I didn't really harp on Stripers to Hell with the Devil, but man, Stryper gets a lot of crap because they're a Christian band, okay? But I grew up listening to Stryper, not because I'm like overly religious or anything. I just like good metal. And Stryper had some damn good metal songs. And I think you could put like To Hell with the Devil right next to a lot of good metal tunes. Oz Fox, hell of a guitarist. So, yeah, good stuff. But House of the Dragon was really good. The Rings of Power... Guys, did any of you like Rings of Power? Because I could not get into it. It's one of those shows I tried with all my heart, and I just could not get into it. It's one of those. You ever watch a show like that or a movie? It's just boring. Netflix puts out a lot of this content, and I'm not saying Rings of Power is Netflix. I know it's Amazon, but I think Netflix is the king of putting out what I call background content. You know, that you don't really care to watch. It's just you need something in the background. What's up, Deadhead? I got a nice cold one. But this was a funny meme. It's like the girl you like, her father, her brother, her cousin, her other cousin's husband, her grand uncle, her nephew, her stepmother's uncle, and you. Okay, next one. This is Halloween Ends in a nutshell. Halloween Ends pretty much sums it up. I mean, if you know how you can take a movie and you can apply 4 images to it, and you know that's what you get. This is pretty funny though. So top left, you got Carrie from Sex and the City. That's obviously Laurie Strode. She's writing her novel. Then you got Grease 2 over there on the right. Somebody said they didn't see the Grease 2 connection. I'm walking out. Are you fucking kidding me? How could you? You know what? There was this group of people that they had this mindset that if I hate this movie, then I don't want to enjoy anything related to the movie, like with memes and funny stuff and even like comparisons. I'm going to say, no, that's bullshit. And I had somebody say, I don't see the Grease 2 connection at all. You know, and by the way, I hate this movie so much. And I'm like, one should have nothing to do with the other. There's an obvious Grease 2 connection. I mean, look, you got, first off, you got a cool rider, right? A cool rider. Come on, people. Lighten the fuck up. You got the freaking guy on the motorcycle. That's freaking Corey and Allison. And they're on the motorcycle, and they got the freaking... he's a cool rider. Corey's a cool rider, whether you like him or not, all right? He's a cool rider. And if he's cool enough, he's going to burn me through and through, all right? That's what I'm saying. That's all. But then you got Mr. Miyagi and Danielson. That's obviously Myers and Corey. It's a beautiful thing. And then, what's that? The bottom right? I don't even know what that is. There's another joke about that too. You can't kill him with brute force. Actually, you can. If he's cool enough, he can burn me through and through. Every lady in my chat right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. The guys are scratching their heads. They're like, I can't jump on this joke because I don't know what he's talking about, you know, because I'm the only guy on the planet that's seen Grease 2 multiple times, actually. So I grew up on that movie, you know. I've seen Grease 2 more times than I've seen Grease, if I'm being honest, you know. I even rode a motorcycle and I jumped a dirt hill, and I had a whole bunch of people on the sidelines watching me going, who's that guy? Where did he come from? No, they didn't say that. They said that to, what's his name? Holden Caulfield? I can't remember his name. But yeah, I probably said it wrong. Looks like some hamburger meat. No, that's not hamburger meat, Destiny. That's Michael Myers. Michael Myers is dead. I wish they would have had Josh Hartnett like make a cameo in the movie. You know, Laurie drops him in, you know, meat grinder. he looks like hamburger meat. And then camera pans over to the right, and there's Josh Hartnett. And he walks up. He looks dead into the camera, and he goes, Michael Myers is dead. But it wouldn't have had the same emotional impact, okay? No ordinary boy is going to do. I want a rider that's cool. Holly gets it. I don't know why you motherfuckers don't. Holly's probably seen that movie one more time than I have. All I need is Grease. What's up, Troy? How you doing, brother? Grease 2 is cool as fuck. It is, you know? It's going to live on, too. All right. The next one's called Hooker Math, okay? What could I be talking? Hooker Math, all right? Here we go. Hooker Math. Now, guys, this is a math equation, so I need you guys to pay attention and quit grab assing. I need you 100% or 98% with me on this one. Okay. My favorite part in Pretty Woman is her joy when he agrees to pay $3,000 for 6 days, effectively lowering her rate from $100 an hour to $21 an hour. Guys, that's a steep drop. I don't think she paused when she gave him the answer. Maybe because he looks like Richard Gere. That's, you know, or maybe she didn't understand math. But that's a steep drop from $100. I mean, he's getting what is that? 1/5. He's getting for 1/5 the going rate, you know? So good on him, right? Hooker Math. They should teach that in school, you know? Third period, I got Hooker Math. It'd be fun. All right. Okay. She was happy because he's hot. Yeah, like, if he looked like Clint Howard, it'd be a different story, okay? If he looked like Clint Howard, she would have raised the price. By the way, Clint Howard, he liked my post on Instagram like 2 years late. Because I reviewed, I think the 4th Silent Night, Deadly Night. And that was like 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. And so that's when I would have posted it on Instagram. That's how I promote. And like a couple weeks ago, I'm looking on Instagram, and Clint Howard liked. So him or maybe his team, they must have been going through. Maybe they did like a hashtag search and they found my review. But hey, I got a Clint Howard like. You know, I'll take it. Yeah. But is Clint a cool writer? Are you with me, guys? Come on, because if he's cool enough, he can burn me through and through. Okay, a cool writer. I'm going to keep you guys on your toes today. A cool rider. Do they have... Hold on, guys, hold on. We need to search this. All right, let's see if they have that on here. I want to listen. We might get in trouble, but I want to listen. Yeah, I'm going to... Hold on. Give me 60 seconds. We need to listen to this. Hold on. It's got to happen. All right. I'm going to change this to the Grease 2 stream. Maybe we should do a Grease 2 commentary. That'd be fun. Come on, YouTube. Did you guys see the Footloose remake? That's like one of the worst remakes ever. I'm just looking on the right, the suggested. Here we go.
If you really want to know what I want in a guy, well, I'm looking for a dream on a meat machine with hell in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I want a devil in skin, tight leather. He's gonna be wild as the wind. And when fine nights, I'll be holding on tight to a cool rider, a cool rider. If he's cool enough.
then I'll wait forever.
No ordinary boy is gonna do. I wanna ride that cool.
Doesn't that just melt your heart? You know, when you come to a Drumdums stream, it's going to be unlike any other stream you've ever been to. I promise that. Okay? Where else are you going to get Cool Rider? It's not going to happen. Okay? All right. Let me go to the next one. Where's my funnies? Hold on. Yeah. A cool. All right. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is Halloween Ends. Guys, did you hear there's an alternate cut? There you go. Did I lose the there we go, yeah. And guys, I can't tell you, I posted this on Instagram. Not Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, I posted this on Twitter. I didn't create this, okay? But it's so funny how many comments after this post were like, it would have been much better than the movie, you know? And I guarantee every one of those guys thought that they were the first person to think that up. But yeah, he says, go to bed. He says, okay. And then the credits roll. Yeah, because that kid was a fucking piece of shit. You know, he was a pain in the ass, you know? And if he would have been a good kid, if he would have been like Julian, then maybe it wouldn't have, you know, because Julian, he was a sweetheart. You loved Julian to death, and it wasn't his fault that Myers attacked, you know. So if there was no Myers, then it would have been fine with Julian. So if Julian would have been that kid in Halloween Ends, then we'd be okay. All right. But yeah. I got my Myers. I literally sit on Michael Myers. Look at this. Hold on. And if it takes forever, then I'll wait forever. Yeah, look at that. That's what I'm sitting on. Okay. We might not ever get to the actual news topics. Because this is how long it takes to get through the damn funnies. But they're fun, you know? Chappie, he says, Haley, wanted to ask you, do you think that Batman versus Superman was ahead of its time, especially when the MCU was still going and people had this mindset that DC movies had to be made this way? That's a good question. Do I think it was ahead of its time? Yes, I do. And it's one of those movies, I'm seeing more and more people coming around to it. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies. But the way I look at any movie is a good movie's a good movie. You know, yes, there is a formula to Marvel, and there's a formula to DC, you know? A lot of people didn't like that. And I think a lot of people were just so caught up in that comedic formula that Marvel had. Plus, the movies back then were really good. I don't think the Marvel movies are that good right now. And I think even like Spider-Man No Way Home, as good as it was, I think it might have been a little overrated because people were starving for a good MCU movie. I haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet. But I'm a DC guy anyway. I've always preferred the more serious fare when it comes to comic book movies. I mean, there's a reason The Crow is, you know, one of my favorite movies ever. And Batman v Superman gave me the movie that I wanted, okay? But what I want is usually going to be different than what a lot of other people want, you know? But I came out of that movie just freaking grinning like crazy, and especially when I saw the ultimate cut. Yeah, I absolutely adore Batman v Superman. And I'm glad that it's not like the Marvel formula, you know? And I think that was a mistake on DC's part. You know, DC... I think they should have stayed the course. Even, there's a saying in the Marines, okay? In the Marines, they say, if you're wrong, stay wrong, okay? Sometimes that applies. I think that's what DC should have done, because they did have a hit with Wonder Woman. I think they should have stayed the course with the overall tone that they were trying to maintain, because I think people would have overall appreciated it more. I mean, those first. Hell, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman v Superman are 3 of my favorite comic films in the last probably, decade at least, maybe 20 years. And they're all in the same canon. And I think it's one of those competition things. I think when DC saw that Marvel was making, they were getting all these great reviews, which I do think the reviews are a little bit overinflated too in some of the later Marvel movies. But I think Marvel, they play it safe. And sometimes if you play it safe, then you can get a good review, because if you know how Rotten Tomatoes works, all you have to do is have I think a 60%, 65% to get a fresh rating. So if a movie's 95% fresh, which a lot of Marvel movies are in that range, especially up to Phase 3, as long as people say, yeah, it's okay, I like it, that's a positive rating. That's a fresh rating. So that means every review could have been, like 3.5 out of 5. Every single review could have been that. And if 95% of those, that would be a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I think people think that 95 means the movie is actually a 95% movie. No. Having said that, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, maybe even Endgame, there's some fucking quality Marvel movies out there. I'm not freaking knocking Marvel at all, okay? DC has some complete shit movies out there, in my opinion, all right? I thought Shazam was highly overrated. I thought it was kind of formulaic and bland. But I could see exactly what they were trying to do with Shazam. As I was watching that movie, I was like, they're making a Marvel movie. That's what they're doing. They're trying to copy that Marvel formula. And it's not like worse than, like, it's if that was a Marvel movie, it wouldn't be the worst movie in the MCU, Shazam, okay? It would be kind of like in the middle, all right? But that's what they were trying to do. And maybe that's more fitting to the character of Shazam. I'm not a comic reader, so I don't know who Shazam is as a character, so I'm no expert here, okay? But I almost said I'm just broad stroking it. Glad I didn't. Okay. Somebody else sent me a super chat, dude. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Oh yeah. Mad Jackal, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Next one. Here we go. Hold on. All right. Halloween Multiverse. DJ Castano posted this on Killer Flicks. I think you missed this part in your documentary on the franchise. That's like the things that people hate about the franchise all in one. Like, that's a multiverse of the things that although I like Corey. I love the character of Corey, Some people love Busta Rhymes. Some people like Sherry Moon Zombie and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So, what am I saying? I don't even know. I thought that was funny though. Halloween Love. What's this? Oh yeah. Oh my God. This is pretty much what I'm talking about, guys. I'm trying to. It's a hard nut to crack. I'm trying to figure out what it is about this franchise that causes so much anger and strife and hate. And I think I know the answer to that. But and I think it's because you have all these different timelines, these choose your own adventures. And I think if you take those, whatever, let's say there's 4 different choose your own adventures, there's at least one movie out of each of those that are extremely controversial, like the Thorn trilogy. I think, hell, 5 and 6 are extreme. Like, can you imagine if Halloween 6 came out today in the Twitter climate that we have? Oh Lord. It would be rough. It would be rough, okay? And you could say that for a lot of Halloween movies, all right? People, they bring out the claws. And part of that, and I've said this in the past, is that everybody just, Twitter gives you a voice now. I saw this comedian. He was saying, I could literally reach out to Obama right now, and there's a chance he could see my tweet. He could see what I'm going to say, That's crazy if you really sit back and think about it, Like, before social media, if you wanted to reach out to the president of the United States, that's a movie in and of itself. They can make a movie about somebody's trip to meet the president. Now they don't have to do that because all you got to do is type it right there on Twitter. It's kind of crazy. So that kind of fits in with, I guess, the mindset that, oh God, I have a voice now. I can say what I want. And I could say if I want, I could say the dumbest, stupidest thing imaginable. And more times than not, I think people choose to say something to kind of stick their nose out. I want to get attention. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to say something that's maybe controversial. I'm going to maybe even attack somebody, And guys, I am being fair here. I know this goes on both sides. I'm not attacking the people that don't like Halloween Ends. I'm attacking all of us, okay? Even the people that love the movie have gotten pretty violent about it. I have to be fair about that, okay? And you guys have brought that to my attention. Hey, it's not just those guys, but it's also those guys. You're absolutely right, okay? I've probably been guilty of it too, I was even called out on another channel. I wasn't going to bring this up, but somebody told me, it's like, there's this other channel, and she kind of gave you the business, and she was talking about Halloween Ends, and I watched it, and I thought it was really funny, I wasn't like upset at all because she was right. This franchise, for some reason, really gets people bent out of shape, So I thought it was funny. I really did. I got a good laugh out of it. And it's fun when you can kind of sit back and watch somebody else poke fun at you. And there's a lot of truth to what she was saying. I kind of did lose my mind with Halloween Ends for a little bit. All right. I thought it was funny. So yeah. I'm trying to remember what her channel. I'll say her channel. I think it was the hippie horror channel or something like that. I can't remember. Okay. But it was funny. Kudos to her. Okay. All right. Next one. Halloween Ghanaian. In other countries, have you guys seen these posters like in other countries? And they just, I don't know how Myers got like a freaking, it's a silencer on that. He's got like a rifle with a silencer, Uzi 9mm, something like that. I don't know. You got Myers' head, but then you got Myers right next to him with his head. So I've been trying to decipher this image all day, and I can't figure it out. All right. There's a helicopter in there, which there was a helicopter in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So, but yeah. Okay, I see. Myers has a chainsaw, and he has somebody's head in his hand, and that's got to be the head of is that Corey behind him? But this is Halloween 78. See, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Destiny, Haunted Hippie. You're right. That's it. Her channel's Haunted Hippie. Okay, yeah. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Okay. Next one. Did I already show that one? I think I showed that one. Yeah, Utah. I think Utah. What was it? I can't remember his last. I showed it at the beginning though. Yeah, that was cool. Okay. Speaking of Grease 2, Beth actually shared this with me. There's a VHS that somebody made that's got freaking Corey and Allison on it, which is great. Has it been an hour and I've been talking about funnies? I gotta freaking speed up, guys. I'm sorry. Jesus. This is called For Those About to Expelliarmus. Okay? He's got AC/DC on his head. Okay. Next one. Corey's story. How one adult man took on teen bullies and won. I've seen that complaint about the band geeks, like in every review that rips apart this movie, they talk about there's no way 4 band geeks could take on this one kid. And The writer of this, he actually was bullied by a bunch of band guys, and that's why he put that in there. Also, I was in the band, and I can tell you right now, guys, those guys that like carry those freaking tubas and shit, and I was a percussionist, and so I would carry those like rototoms and shit. I mean, there were some band members that were just as big as freaking football players, and hell, some of them, including myself, actually played football. So, I think people were grasping at straw. You know how you hate a movie so much that you're like, okay, I want to pick apart every little thing about it. Only jocks, only football players should be the ones that could beat this kid up. And 4 of them, by the way, okay? If it's one band geek, okay, I'll give you that. But this was 4 of them, all right? So I think people were kind of just... And plus, it's different, like every single movie, it's always a football jock that's the bully. Why not are you telling me that the only bullies in school are football jocks? Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of bullies on the internet, on social media. They call them keyboard warriors. And I would say 99% of them are not football jocks, okay? Bullies come in all shapes and sizes. They just do, all right? So, yeah. All right, next one. Oh, I see Beth in there. What's up, Beth? Did you see the VHS one that I posted? Okay. This is Corey plus Michael. The 2 of them together is a beautiful... And guys, I'm all kidding aside, I found that aspect of Halloween Ends extremely refreshing. It kind of... We've never seen Myers used in this capacity before. It was different. And there's an article I'm going to share with you guys too that talks about what I was saying earlier about In Time. Not just Ends, but the whole trilogy, I think, might be re-examined, okay? Because they at least tried, something different, especially with Kills and Ends. What do you want? Do you want them to make the same, and that's like Mustafa Akkad was saying, back to the basics, But there's only so many times you can go back to the basics. After a while, that starts getting stale. So... why not mix things up a little bit, especially if you're in the 13th movie, And I truly believe that people will go back and they'll look at this trilogy and they'll be like, I do appreciate that these movies feel different than the rest. That doesn't mean I prefer these movies over the rest. No. But I would wager that they're probably not the worst, And I'm only speaking for myself, okay? I know some of you think that Ends is a steaming pile of trash and I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not here. By the way, here that's another thing. I'm glad I can bring this stuff up. I am not here to change your mind. I am not here to convince you of anything. Because I had a lot of people get mad at me because they thought I was trying to convince them that Halloween Ends was good, that they are wrong. No, not at all. The only thing I can do as a content creator is tell you my opinion, how I felt when I came out of that movie, how I liked the movie. And it's A to B. I'm telling you exactly how I felt. You are the receiver. You can either take that information or you can, throw it right back at me. That makes no sense. But people often think that an opinion means a fact. Or that I'm stating that because I have these feelings about this movie, then that's fact. That's concrete. Everybody across the board should feel that same way. Not at all. Not at all. Film is subjective, and 10 people can get 10 different outcomes out of any given movie. It's almost like a song. I think that's the reason why some songs, when the best songs are written from kind of a universal standpoint. You can apply it to your own life. I think movies are the same way, if I'm being honest, guys. That's what I love about movies, is that you can take a movie that, like Halloween 6, I'll use an example, and I would say most, you look on Rotten Tomatoes, most critics hate that movie. A lot of people hate that movie, but there's something about that movie that touched me emotionally. Maybe it was Dr. Loomis. It was his last movie. I don't know. It just really grabbed me in so many different ways. That sounded horrible, but that's just movie. That's just film. That's just cinema. You know, there's nothing wrong with. So I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I swear to God, I'm not. All right. If I post my opinions on Twitter, that's just my opinions. Okay. And you can say wrong, and that's fine. But I just needed to set that straight. Not trying to convince you of anything. You know, your opinion is your opinion, and I respect that. And I love that, actually. I don't want everybody to have that. And we beat this comment like a dead horse. You know, how boring would it be if everybody had the same exact opinion about a movie? We wouldn't have any debates. You know, that's why I got into YouTube, so I could debate about movies. I actually prefer talking to somebody that has a different, like when I talked to Trapson. Me and Trapson did not have the same opinion on Halloween Ends. He didn't like the movie. I did. And we had a great civil discussion, and I really enjoyed it. You know, I think I preferred that. But this is a good point. My favorite meme so far: you can't defeat it with brute force. I don't know. That's brute force, if you ask me. Okay. Oh yeah, here's Tabato's. Brandon's. It says a direct sequel to Halloween 4 announced. Daniel Harris and Ellie Cornell returning. George P. Wilbur returning to play Michael Myers. Richard Stay returning as Wade. How would you guys feel about that if they tried to do a requel to Halloween 4, which I guarantee that's not going to happen? But like I heard this one, it was one article. This writer from some other horror property, I can't remember who it was, but he was stating that his idea was to kind of retool the franchise and use Myers as kind of like a curse, I guess, of this. Not even say Michael Myers in the entire movie at all. Just call him the Shape. And all he does is he comes every Halloween to kill. And then he's gone. You know, just play on that aspect. Don't have the character Laurie Strode. You know, you could put this in any town with any new characters that you want. And just, you know, you don't even know if this is a man. It's just this character that shows up every Halloween to kill. And then he's gone. You know, and that's like playing on the biggest supernatural aspect that you could possibly imagine. And it's kind of a cool idea, actually. If there's one thing that I'm glad about this trilogy being done with, is that there's no more Laurie Strode. I'm so done with Laurie Strode as a character. I'm ready to move on to some new blood. Okay? Okay. Now, always be yourself unless you can be Ace Frehley. Then always be Ace Frehley. And Ace Frehley, no, that's not Ace Frehley's account. But because, you know, Tommy Thayer, that poor guy, and I don't blame Tommy Thayer at all, but I've seen Kiss in concert twice. Once with makeup, once without. With makeup, I saw him with all 4 original members. And I can't watch anybody else in Ace Frehley's makeup. And that's just a personal preference. There's a lot of people that go to these recent concerts and they love them. They have a great time. That's awesome. But I don't like anybody wearing Ace and Peter's makeup. It just takes me out of the show. I don't know what it is. It just feels weird, you know? Okay, bad cop bracket. Sheriff Lee Brackett couldn't smell weed in his daughter's car 30 seconds after she stopped smoking. Expected to track down violent serial killer. So that's a good point. It's a good point, actually. And this was funny. I love these, like, the DM funnies. Would you consider $4,000? I'll do $4,500. I can do $4,000. Thumbs up. Okay, I'm waiting for a deposit into my account. Then we'll give you a call. Thanks. I'm not going to take $4,000. You gave a thumbs up. I thought you would. No, you set the thumbs up. He was pulling a fast one there. You got to give him an A for effort. Woo! We made it through the... Holy crap. Jesus. An hour and 12 minutes of funnies. God. Man, I am so sorry. I need to... Hold on. I need to take a drink. Everybody stand up and stretch, okay? Jeez. Open your hymns to page 54. Oh, God. Oh, man. I really needed that stretch. That was nice. Nick Castle, guys. Nick Castle. Big thank you to Matt Casey for sending that to me. Nick Castle signing a Halloween 2018 poster. That was after that movie came out. So cool. Another one right here. Camille Keaton. Camille Keaton. I spit on your grave. Could you guys see that? You can't really see that, can you? Okay. Yeah. All right. Did you guys stretch? You need to stretch, okay? Wow. Man, where do we go from here? Okay. Whew. All right. I was going to talk about Friday the 13th tonight. I was going to talk about Rocky. And I was going to talk about... Hold on, let me pull up my notes here. Because I did kind of sprinkle some Halloween Ends talk throughout. Or just Halloween in general, I guess. Okay. All right, let me pull this up. Okay. All right. Halloween Ends. I'm just going to go down my little bullet points here, okay? So just bear with me. Halloween Ends hate. All right. I posted this thing on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I can go over there now. And show you guys what I'm talking about. And hopefully I don't prove myself wrong here, but yeah. So over on Twitter, I asked the question, what's your favorite and least favorite horror movie of the year so far? And if I scroll down here, I would say, see, Texas Chainsaw Massacre for least favorite. I'm really focusing on the least favorite here, guys. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Favorite Halloween Ends. Okay. Favorite Terrifier 2. Least favorite Halloween Ends. I'm confused with deciding the fate of Halloween Ends for this question. X was good. Let me keep going down. Hold on. Hellraiser. I'm saying a lot of people didn't like the new Hellraiser. What'd you guys think? Most overrated Barbarian. Worst. I did see a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for worst. I actually love that one. Okay. Least favorite Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Okay. With Halloween Ends in second in terms of disappointment. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people that put Halloween Ends as the worst, like that means you're saying, if you saw it, you're saying it's worse than Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Now, to be fair, I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn, but from what I've heard from people, that movie is a tragedy. But, you know, you might think Halloween Ends is a tragedy too. So, it's opinions, all right? So, let's see. Least favorite, probably Halloween Ends. Favorite Halloween Ends. So, I think that's kind of... That's one of my points, is that there's people that it's definitely a divisive love-hate movie. There's people that said it was a favorite. And when I, because I had, let me see how many comments, because I'm not going to go down all the comments, but I had a lot of comments on this video, and it's not showing them right here, but let me go back over here. But I did a tally, like I think after, because I posted that quite a few days ago, and I would say Halloween Ends got least favorite the most, easily the most, and that was even surprising to me. I knew a lot of people didn't like the movie. I didn't know that many people. Like if you go by a percentage, that not only did they not like it, but they thought it was the least favorite of the year. And I think it's probably disappointment must go in there. I think a lot of those people maybe they were fans of the earlier movies in the franchise. And hey, you're right. This movie's very different than any other movie in the franchise, including Halloween 3. Okay? I just thought it was interesting, those numbers, though. I did not expect that, And I kind of poked at the bear a little bit, and I did say, so those that posted Halloween Ends as their least favorite, what did you do to celebrate that you didn't see The Invitation and Jeepers Creepers Reborn? And maybe that was kind of snotty of me to say that. The Invitation, I hated that movie. To me, it's just so formulaic, you know? And that's the thing. I don't like going to a movie, especially a vampire movie, and just being bored and annoyed out of my mind. Like, what did you guys think of The Invitation? Did you guys like that movie? Because I just could not get into it at all. Destiny says Spirit Halloween, the movie was almost insufferable, I can imagine. You know, we're not even talking about those Walmart dumpster fire movies, you know? Like, I think some people don't even include those in their yearly tally because they're just so bad, and maybe you take the production budget into account. Mark Williams, thank you. He says, I loved Ends. I continue to think about it more than the previous two. Reading the novel and have more and more appreciation for the movie. The soundtrack is incredible. Thank you. Especially the track Cool Kid. Yes. That soundtrack is easily my favorite of the three. Love the Boy Harsher track and the Cool Kid track for sure. They also had Teenage Werewolf in the movie, which I don't think that's going to be on the actual score. But the procession, I mean, Carpenter and Daniel Davies and Cody Carpenter, man, they knocked it out of the park with this last movie, with the score. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I think most people across the board can agree on is Carpenter and company. All three of these movies, they completely slayed it. Nathan Mills says he hasn't seen The Invitation. I don't dislike any Halloween movie except Resurrection, David Thorson. Yeah, I like most of them. I don't really, but even Resurrection I can throw on sometimes and just have a good time with. Yeah, I Was a Teenage Werewolf. That song is fun. And I love that whole scene when he goes into the freaking the DJ kill. Good stuff. Guys, I'll tell you right now, too, that is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's pretty much like Christine. It's like an homage to Christine. Just the way that scene is directed, the lights coming up, the junkyard, that was the name of the track. And you know, seeing Myers, the camera comes around the victim on the left side of the truck, goes around, and then you see Myers holding that pipe wrench. Oh my God, I love that scene. It's so good. I will say I didn't want Corey to die. You know, I didn't want Corey. I think it would have been cool if he would have stayed alive, because then, you know, evil truly never does die. And it doesn't, but I think that would have sent it home a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, my next point is history repeating itself. Halloween 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and I mean, you could pick quite a few of these movies, you know, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, that they do have their fans, but they're also very polarizing, and there's people that outright hate the movies. You know, this franchise, I think, maybe more than any other franchise, and because of the choose your own adventure nature of it, you're gonna get factions, and some members of those factions, they like to stay in their particular group, and they don't like to stray outside of it. You know, like, I'm a big fan of the Thorn trilogy, you know, although I can still appreciate a lot of the other movies. But there's some people, they just want that tried and true, they call it the Halloween purists. They just want the first movie, the second movie, maybe H2O. You know, that's all they want. And then the rest of them, they're just trash. They hate them, okay? You got some that are just Rob Zombie fans. You know, I've seen some people say Rob Zombie's, they'd prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween over the original Halloween. And that's cool. I like that. I think that's cool. You know, that's one thing I love about this franchise is there's something for everyone, you know? And that's a great thing. I like that in 5 years we can look back on a movie like Halloween Ends and say, damn, they gave us something quite different there, you know? I mean, way different. And I thinking back on it, I already loved the way they used Myers. It was just refreshing and different, you know? Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. Thanks, brothers. Says, I respect DGG for trying something different. I've parked it for now and will revisit it next year at some stage, hoping to appreciate it more when the dust has settled. I think others will too. And I think that's what you want to do with a franchise that you love, you know? There's certain movies, properties that you're not going to really care about, and you're going to go about your day, and it's going to, it's going to be fine. You're going to forget about them. But when you're, so passionate about Halloween or Friday the 13th or, Nightmare, any movie, you're going to probably let it settle for a bit. You're going to come back to it maybe a year down the line, and maybe something will jump out to you. Guys, that's what happened to me with Halloween 3. I hated Halloween 3 when I first watched it. Didn't even finish the movie. It took me quite a few watches. Now, I watch it every October. I love Halloween 3 to death now, I think there's some people that are going to have that reaction with Halloween Ends. I think they're going to go down their Halloween run, and think about this, guys. You're going down the run, you say, you know what, this year I'm going to watch all 13 Halloween movies. Wouldn't that be refreshing that by the time you get to the 13th movie, it's not a repeat of the first movie? It's something completely different, almost removed from the franchise. I think that would be so cool, And if you look at it on its own, maybe you find that it's actually a pretty decent movie, Sometimes you have to say Michael Myers isn't in this movie. That's what you got to say to yourself. That's not Myers. That's another character. I don't look at it that way. I think Myers is extremely important, actually, in the movie. I think this is the Myers from 78, but he's freaking 65 years old. And the beating that he took in Kills, I think in the writer's room, they were probably sitting around saying, you know what? This is still a guy in a man's body. After the beating he took 4 years later, and he's been living in a freaking sewer, what's going to be the aftermath of that? Is he going to be kind of war-torn? Maybe. Let's play with that. What could come out of that? And maybe they went into it thinking, I want to introduce a new character into this. We haven't done a copycat killer. They actually wanted to do a copycat killer in H2O. So let's do that. Let's go hog wild and try something like that and play off of that idea that this is a Myers that's done physically, And I kind of felt for, it's a horrible thing to say, but I kind of felt for Myers when he pulls the douchebag into the tunnel. I forgot his name. Help me out, guys. But Myers has the knife and he holds him and he says, "Show me." And that's pretty much just like Christine when he says, "Show me." And Myers seems excited. Oh my God, this is my chance to and he grabs the knife and he stabs the guy. And it was like for the first time Myers felt some real excitement, and his body was reacting to it and everything. And then after that, they go to the doctor's house, and that freaking awesome scene, which is a really cool scene actually. And I compared this to movies like Logan, like The Unforgiven, where you have an elderly character who used to be a legend, like an icon, but now let's visit them at the end of their life and see what that's like. And that's kind of the way, when I stepped back and watched it a few times and thought about it, that's the way I looked at Myers in this movie, Yeah, I think it was Doug Destiny. Yeah, McClaney. But yeah, that's the way I looked at Myers in this movie, And for a moment there, you saw a bit of that greatness that he once had. And I got chill bumps during that scene, even though he's killing a guy. You gotta separate fantasy world from real world, right? But yeah. So the more I watch this movie, the more I even love Myers in it. I didn't want to see my boy go down in a freaking meat grinder, but all said and done, I enjoyed it. I really did. Next topic I had to see, social media history repeating itself. I talked about that. Social media climate. I've kind of touched on that throughout this anyway with Twitter. I could bring up Choose Your Own Adventure franchise. I talked about that because I don't want to repeat myself, guys. I told you my joke. Who watches Halloween content the most? Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the statement, "You're not a true fan." You're not a true horror fan or Halloween fan. We see this statement all the time. And you know what I think that means? You're not a true fan equals you don't agree with me. That's all that means, or I don't agree with you. Some people, they take their personal opinion to heart so much that they think that that is the answer, that it's almost a fact, So they and I've never ever said that to anybody. You're not a true fan. It's kind of insulting, I can tell you, every single one of you in my chat right now, you're horror fans. I would bet all the money on it. I love it, and I love that you all have different opinions, and I love that you all have your favorites in the franchise. That's what you want, right? So to make a freaking statement like that is just ignorant and stupid. And there's a tweet I was wanting to show you. I think it's in the topical slides. No. Let me see. I think it's here. Is it here? Or maybe it's over here. Yeah. Yeah, here you go. So this guy says, anyone defending Halloween Ends literally hasn't been a fan of the franchise and just a parrot of whatever is popularized. Movie is a complete sham and should be deleted 100%. That's just really a jaded comment to state that it's impossible for you to like this movie when I think it's kind of split down the middle. I mean, it's probably one of the most polarizing movies in the franchise, so much so that there's people that say it's like in their top 5, including myself. Right now, it sits at number 4. So, but just to, I don't want to say attack, but to provoke people like that and say that you're lying about your opinion, like that couldn't be your opinion. I don't know. I think that's really stupid, if you ask me. Okay, I put a note here about the future of the franchise, but I mean, at this point, what can you even speculate? Where would you want the franchise to go? I mean, I definitely think they're going to let it rest. Didn't they say there was some news about a TV series, kind of like what they're doing with Friday? I don't know. You're going to see a lot of different ideas pop up here and there, but they're never going to come to fruition. And I think that's what's going to happen with Halloween. And I think eventually it'll go the remake route, Beth says, we are witnessing what it would have been like when Halloween 3 came out and they had the internet. Exactly. Can you imagine if Halloween 3 came out today? I think it would definitely be worse than Ends, because at least Ends gave you Myers. So, yeah. All right, so that's the end. You know what? I want to talk about Stallone real quick. There was this dust up recently, and taking you back even farther. Let me pull you guys back up here. Taking you back even farther, there was this tweet that Frank Stallone put out, and it was pretty angry, and he was just really going off. And then it was backed up by Stallone. And if I clip this out, I'll probably put that tweet here so you can see it. But then recently, we've seen the new Creed 3 trailer. Which it does. I watched the trailer. It looks decent. I'll give it that. Okay, the movie could be great. All right. And then Stallone recently just talked about he's disappointed. He's separated himself from the franchise. I have the news story over here. Let me go over here. Yeah. So Sylvester Stallone is not being a part of Creed 3 franchise, is going in a dark space. He wouldn't have taken it. And you know what? Every filmmaker is going to have their own vision, and I would never take that away from anybody. I'm not saying that I want this to go in the direction that Stallone wants it to go. I'll get to my take on it after I kind of read through this with you guys. because I'm seeing a lot of opinions go around about this, and most of them are stating that Stallone should shut up in color. Should shut up in color. And maybe there's some truth to that, but I kind of have a differing opinion on that, okay? And I'm going to go through that with you. But the third film in the Rocky franchise spinoffs, Creed 3, is coming out in just a few months, and it will be the first of the movies not to include Rocky Balboa, played by the creator of the character, Sylvester Stallone, who, by the way, also created the character of Apollo Creed. The actor confirmed 2 years ago that he would not be returning for the role of Rocky, who served in the first 2 Creed movies as a mentor and coach to Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed, but it's still a sensitive subject for the actor. Just a few months ago, it was reported that Stallone took to social media to lament the fact that although Stallone created the character Rocky, wrote all the films, and even directed most of them, he has no rights to the still popular movies. The ownership rights to the franchise belong in full to Irwin Winkler, producer of the film. It's a total miscarriage of justice, and it still haunts Stallone. But it's not exactly the whole reason the actor isn't returning. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Stallone talked about the new movie, and he said, "That's a regretful situation because I know what it could have been. It was taken in a direction that is quite different than I would have taken it. It's a different philosophy. Irwin Winkler's and Michael B. Jordan's. I wish them well, but I'm much more of a sentimentalist. I like my heroes getting beat up, but I don't want them going into that dark space." And by the way, guys, I believe in the Rocky was supposed to die. I think in like Stallone wrote quite a few drafts of the first movie. One of them, Rocky dies, but Rocky was a much darker character in an early version of the draft too. Inflict. It's especially like the loan shark aspect of him and inflicting a lot of bodily harm. He was a much more cynical character, and I think, like any writer, when you are developing a character, you're going to go through stages where the character might not be the same at the beginning as he ends up being. And I think Stallone went through many trials and tribulations to figure out who Rocky was as a character. And I think he created the perfect version of one of the most inspiring characters ever. You can kind of compare Rocky to Luke Skywalker. And we've seen Mark Hamill complain, said, "Hey, it's not my character anymore, so I don't look at him as Luke Skywalker. I look at him as a different character." I think he said Jake Skywalker. So the point I'm trying to make is Stallone wanted that world and that character to be different. Now, I will give the credit to Michael B. Jordan and whoever wrote Creed 3. Creed's son is not Rocky. So I'm not saying I want Creed's son to be Rocky. Okay? My big hang up, we'll get to that. All right. I don't need this new approach. I don't think this new approach will make the movie bad necessarily. It just might make fans wonder if it will still have the same feeling as other films. But Michael B. Jordan, who also is making his directorial debut with Creed 3, previously reported, I think that Sly let it be known that he wasn't coming back for this one, but I think, his essence and his spirit, there's always going to be a little bit of Rocky within Adonis. But this is a Creed franchise, and we also want to build this story and this world around him moving forward. So it's always respect and always a shit ton of love for what he's built. But we really want to push and navigate Adonis forward and the family he created. All right. Let me go back over here. I have no problem with them going forward and making a new Creed movie. The character Creed can move on without the character of Rocky. I think that's fine. To pull up my points here, because like I said, there's a lot of speculation about this, a lot of opinions about this, stating that Stallone should shut up in color. This isn't his baby anymore. You can kind of compare this to George Lucas, Let me pull up my notes here, though, because I had a few points I wanted to make about this. All right. If Stallone, ripping the Band-Aid off, okay? I'm Team Stallone. All right. I think, I think the situation could have been handled better in terms of the rights. I think there's probably a lot behind the scenes that we don't know. Sylvester Stallone has never made a stink before this situation that I'm aware of. He's never kind of went off and stated this is not right, because he did post those like vampiric pictures of the chart offs, and I think there's more to this story that we don't know. I think something went on behind the scenes, and some things were said that really set him off. And you can kind of tie it to that scene in Rocky Balboa where he says, I'm just asking for you to do what's right. If Rocky was one movie, if there was never a franchise made, they made one movie, the contract was signed. Nothing you can do about it. Fair is fair. You go on with your life. You do. You continue your acting career, directing career, whatever. I would have no problem with the chart offs and what they did. And Winkler. Here's my situation. Here's my thought on this, though. This is a guy that not only created a movie, but he created a franchise. And you had 6 movies, which then created Creed and Creed 2, and now Creed 3. Okay? So that's 9 movies that this guy has created. And he's went back time and time again to say, hey, I know I've made a lot of money throughout my career. That's not a mystery. Everybody knows, but I worked my ass off for the money I made. But is it so wrong because I've made MGM, Winkler's, chart offs? Stallone has made those guys millions and millions and bazillions of dollars because of this franchise that, for the most part, Stallone wrote. He created these characters. He directed most of the movies. He wrote most of the movies. All the guy is asking for is just a piece of the pie. That's it. And this isn't new territory. There have been cases in the past where studios took a step back and looked at a situation and thought, you know what? Maybe we should do what's right. Titanic is a great example. James Cameron's Titanic. At a certain point, the well ran dry. The valve was shut off. For the money coming in. So James Cameron had to sit back and watch this movie become the highest grossing movie of all time. And just money just freaking flowing out of a faucet. And he could have none of it. And he didn't really bitch about it. But this is one movie, okay? One movie that made a fuck ton of money, all right? What did the studio do? The studio actually went back and they looked at that contract and they said, you know what? Let's do the right thing. This guy put everything on the line for this movie. Let's give him some of this back. And they did that. They gave James Cameron some of the money back for Titanic. That's what's right. I know everybody says that contracts are contracts and shut up and color, but I guarantee you, every one of you right now, if you wrote a story and you had a deal, a contract, and everything's fine. I'm not bitching. But then all of a sudden you wrote, let's just say you had 8 sequels. You created a world. You created a franchise. And if you went back to that company that is freaking pulling up in their, in their limousines and living high on the hog, and money is just flowing into their bank accounts off of content that you keep creating over and over and over and over again, it wouldn't settle that well with you after a while. I guarantee you. It would. That's the way I would see it. I'd be like, hold on, I'm giving you guys a freaking a mountain of freaking cash that keeps coming. With, by the way, physical media releases, action figures. The money, the financial possibilities are endless. Okay, I think you might get a little butthurt, and it wouldn't be the worst thing to go back and say, hey, can we maybe try to give me he's not even asking for, he just wants a piece. Just, can I get a little piece? And the reason Stallone was doing this, by the way, because the guy's in his 70s. He knows he doesn't have that long left. This is not to get him richer. He's got, he wipes his ass with $100 bills right now, okay? When you look at the Winklers and the Chardoffs, their families are getting that money. Stallone wants his daughters to have a piece of that Rocky pie, and their kids down the line, Spread it across to everybody, especially the guy who wrote it. So it just drives me crazy when I hear all these opinions and these people keep saying, Stallone, shut up and color. You don't deserve any of it. You don't deserve any. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's nothing wrong with changing a contract, guys. It happens all the time. Okay, I'm Team Stallone, and I'm not mad at Michael B. Jordan, and I'm not mad that they're making another movie. I just think it's about just like Rocky said, it's about doing what's right. That's all it's about. Okay. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Stallone. All right. Now let's go to the Friday the 13th news. Man, that felt good. I need to get that off my chest. All right. Oh, by the way, guys, this is that article. I urge you guys to go look it up. Let me pull it up. Did I have it over here? Hold on. News, yeah. Quickly. Here is that article I was talking about on Bloody Disgusting, how David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy came so close to hitting the right notes. So they're saying, yeah, this isn't a perfect trilogy, but they're talking about like this line right here. Yeah. With that said, give it a decade or so, and Halloween Ends will be the subject of similar reappraisal, and you'll all of a sudden see it placing high in everyone's rankings of the wider franchise. That might sound implausible right now, given the iffy aggregate scores and raging debate online, but gut reactions aren't known for standing the test of time. And the movies that they're comparing it to are like Peeping Tom, The Thing, The Shining. These are movies that when they came out, they were blasted. And this was way before social media, and they were blasted by critics. The Thing and The Shining are two of the most iconic horror films ever made. And they make those top 10 lists every year. But when The Thing came out, John Carpenter went into a deep, deep depression because of The Thing. He said it was brutal. It was scathing. So, highly recommend you guys read this article. Really interesting stuff. All right. So, let's check out this the Friday, and I know I'm a little late on this, but I wanted to cover it. The Friday the 13th prequel series can use anything from the franchise, including Jason, which is really freaking cool. Okay. At this stage, it remains to be seen if Crystal Lake, Peacock's upcoming Friday the 13th prequel series, will feature a hockey mask wearing, machete wielding Jason Voorhees in some capacity. My guess is not at first. I think maybe at the end of the season, like 8-10 episodes that they do for these, maybe we'll see like a sign of it at the end of like the last episode or something like that. That would be my guess. But from a legal standpoint, however, such a prospect certainly seems to be on the table. Variety recently reported that Crystal Lake was in the works at Peacock, with Hannibal developer and Star Trek Discovery co-writer Brian Fuller attached to serve as writer. Yeah. Okay, just making sure you guys can see it. Showrunner and executive producer. As noted by Bloody Disgusting, an update to Variety's story reveals that Crystal Lake is also being executive produced by both Rob Barsamian, the president, treasurer, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is the part I want to read. Victor Miller, the writer of the original Friday the 13th film from 1980. This is of note, as Horror Inc. holds the rights to the elements of the franchise that Miller doesn't already own. Rights that were previously believed to reside exclusively with original Friday the 13th director Sean S. Cunningham. All right, here we go. This would imply that Peacock's Crystal Lake is free to feature a villainous adult Jason Voorhees, hockey mask and all, while the prequel series inclusion of young Jason featured in the original Friday the 13th seemed like a foregone conclusion given the fact that Miller owns the rights to the movie's screenplay and the United States as of 2018. The rights to grown-up hockey mask wearing Jason were owned by Cunningham, hence why the franchise has been in the state of limbo for so long. I'm not going to read any more of that. Getting back over here. This is very exciting, guys. This is very exciting. I want another Friday movie like crazy. I mean, we haven't had one since 2009. My question to you guys, are you kind of upset or excited about a TV series being the next thing? You know, it takes longer to film a TV series. We don't know when this thing's going to come out. Hopefully next year. But this means that we'll probably have to wait even more for a movie, unless they do both at the same time, which I highly doubt that's going to happen. I mean, can you imagine that? If you had a TV series and then a movie like side by side, but you know, a year is 365 days. So maybe we get a movie like, you know, maybe a quarter, 3 months after the TV series comes out, or what would be kind of a really unique idea is if the TV series led to the movie, you know, so they build you up for the theatrical release, and you have all this backstory through the TV. So that's the one good thing about TV shows is you can really go hog wild in terms of backstory. You know, you can build a world in just one season of a TV show. And then, you know, you could have your adult Jason movie that ties in with that, you know. I doubt they're going to go that route. But now I did say, and I've reported on Friday the 13th quite a few times over the last year leading up to this. And I said quite a few times I would love if they did a Pamela Voorhees prequel. I didn't expect that to happen. My money would have been on, the fans want the hockey mask. They want adult Jason. And I would have put all the money that's what was going to happen. So to my surprise, they ended up going with my idea. Not saying I had anything to do with that, but I'm just saying I got what I wanted. They're giving me a freaking Pamela Voorhees backstory. That means we're probably going to get a lot of character building for Pamela, which is cool. You know, because I've always been interested in that character and what makes her tick and what made her go over the edge, you know, and, you know, seeing her maybe as was she a counselor, guys, or was she just Jason's mother on the side? I don't remember if she was a counselor or not, but it'll be interesting to explore that world. I mean, we're going into uncharted territory here, guys. Most of the Friday movies, unlike the Halloween movies, and I think to their credit, are pretty much the same formula. You know, it's just pretty much your tried and true slasher formula. No more, no less. You have Jason Goes to Hell if you want to venture out a little bit. But even part 5 is still your basic tried and true slasher formula, even though it's a copycat killer. I love that about the Friday franchise. I love that it's just that fun cheeseburger. You can throw it on in the background because I think, even though I'm a Halloween fanatic, I think Friday movies are a little bit more digestible, and I can throw them on at any time if I want to just have some fun. And I don't want my Friday movies to be like Halloween. I want them to be what they are. And it does excite me she was a cook. Thank you very much, Destiny. Yeah. But yeah, I want my Friday movies to be what they are, you know, and I think you'll probably get a lot of that in this TV series. Now, my question is, though, because it is a slasher franchise, is who's going to be the killer in the TV series if it's a prequel? Is Pamela going to be the killer and she's going to be killing all along? I don't know. It does get me excited, you know. And I guess the evolution of Jason Voorhees, there's a lot to explore, and I think it could be really exciting, you know. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Wow, 2 hours just like that. Holy crap! Did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about? I'm trying to think. Is there any more? Like, that's pretty much all there is for Friday. I can't think of anything else that you could discuss with Friday. You know, it will be exciting. Don't get me wrong, guys. As much as I want the prequel and to learn about Pamela, I still want my freaking hockey mask. Okay, I love my boy, and yeah. I want to see that. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Once that pops up on the screen, that's gonna be exciting. Okay. People are going to be cheering once that finally pops up on the screen. You know, that is one of the coolest masks. You know, it's part of the icon. Will we see the sack head? You know, I have questions. We'll see. So, wow. I didn't even open up my freaking Gatorade. I had so much fun with you guys today. Now tell me, guys, be honest with me too. Did you like the funnies at the beginning? Or would you have preferred me to wait on the funnies like I usually do? I need your feedback. Your feedback means everything to me, okay? Funnies were fun, though. I did have fun with them. I think they were a little too long. I think I could have shortened them up a bit, but I did sprinkle in like some Halloween opinions in there. So, yeah, Friday Part 5 is fun as hell, Brandon. It's really grown on me over the years. Okay. I like the funnies at the beginning. Nathan, thank you. Brandon says, I love the funnies. I prefer funnies at the end. Tiff, thank you, Tiff. Doesn't matter either way. I like seeing them at the beginning. Funnies at the beginning. Rosemary, Tommy Dean. A build up to the mask would make it all the better. Yeah. I like funnies at the end because it leaves something to close out on. That's true. I like that too, Destiny. I enjoyed the funnies, and either way is fine with me. The whole live was amazing. I love it. Thank you. I love you, Vinny. Okay. So it's kind of half and half. I don't know. I guess it depends on how I feel. Like maybe next time, maybe I'll close it out with the funnies. I don't know. But I did have a lot of funnies tonight, and so I figured I wanted to open it up because a lot of them were Halloween Ends related. Maybe that's why I did it that way. Okay. But yeah, love you guys so much. Thank you so much. I'll probably clip out a few of these, maybe the Friday stuff and definitely some Halloween stuff in there. Maybe the Stallone stuff too. I don't know. But Uncle Chael's neck vein. Yeah, watch the repeat because the first hour of this is funnies and sprinkling in some like regular talk too. But yeah, it was good, and we did get to open it up with Striper, okay, which was really fun. Okay, so Omni 432. If you guys want to send me funnies, you can do that. Just send them to my drumdums at yahoo.com. All right, if you want to send me funnies. And I'll probably show them on here. Trina sent me some funnies last time. So Beth has sent me funnies before. A lot of you guys have sent me funnies. So yeah. Okay. Or Troy Grubb. I like funnies at the end. It's cool at the beginning too. And one thing I could do maybe open up with some funnies and then close it out with some funnies. You know, kind of the best of both worlds. Okay. So anyway, guys, love you guys so much. Have a blast every time I hang out with you guys, and take care of each other. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully I'll do another stream before then, but I'm going to see my folks next week. I'm going to see my parents. So that'll be fun, but love you guys. Take care. See you on the